Everybody deserves a second chance, even video games. Welcome to the Second Opinion Podcast, where the reviews aren't always right, but we are. We're here to give you the gaming takes you didn't know you needed. We've been deep in the gaming world for 17 plus years, covering all the news, releases, and drama in the gaming world, and having a damn good time while doing it. Just because some website gave a game a low score doesn't mean it's a fail in our book. We're all about giving games that second chance, diving back in where others quit. And we should probably tell you that we're real and we're very loud and opinionated, and 90% of the time we're completely off topic. But that's why you'll love us. This is your Second Opinion. Now, here are your hosts, Toaster, Soleb, and Bolts.
Well, we're back again, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Second Opinion Podcast, episode number 391. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Big shout out to Fusion. Always right up in the chat. Thank you so much for stopping in on this episode. We are back yet again, and the time is nigh. Because it seems like the gaming world is starting to have some pretty big shakeups, Toaster. But as per usual,
I don't know what you're talking about. This something happened at a small indie company. I heard.
Yeah, it was pretty small.
Yeah, really, just a few billion employees. Yeah. I mean,
but before we get into this, I of course am joined by my partner in crime, the man, the wizard. Toaster McGee. What's up, Toaster?
What's going on, buddy?
Welcome.
Thank you.
My gray bearded brethren. It's getting there, bro. Look. Is that actual gray, or is that from all that horrible snow you have outside your house right now?
No, this is actually gray. Like eventually I'll let it go and I'll get to Gandalf levels of just ridiculousness.
Listen, bro, I am waiting for that day. I need to see Gandalf, Toaster.
But yesterday I was doing my best impersonation of Kurt Russell on the thing with, his beard all just like full of ice crystals. Yeah, it was bad. So.
Well, usually we talk about what we've been gaming, but I think this episode we need to just jump right into it because it's some really big news. Sometimes me and Toaster have a little bit of a tendency of being like, talking for about 30 minutes about the games that we've been playing recently. You guys know we've been playing a lot of stuff. I've got some big reviews coming out very soon, but it is official. There is a huge shakeup.
I did want to say really quick, like a quick shout out, because I actually grabbed the game. Dragon is dead. It's
yeah.
I mean, I could not help when I saw the trailer, and this game came out on Steam a bit ago, but for the first time I saw the trailer, and I was just like, oh, I'm getting like mad, blasphemous vibes off of this game, and it's a roguelike 2D side scroller, and I've only played about 15 or 20 minutes of it, but I'm enjoying it very much, and it is going to be launching on console. So digital editions of Dragon is Dead is launching on April 23rd on Xbox, PlayStation. But physical copies will be launching also on July 14th of 2026 for all you physical copy collectors. Check it out on Steam. If you're a fan of like the old school Metroidvania, with thrown in with say like Dead Cells, Blasphemous, for instance, those games, like definitely check it out and download it.
Okay, I'm definitely going to check out that game now for sure. But the one thing I do really want to talk about, man, I mean, me and Toast are going to be on our on pins and needles over these next 12 months. But Phil Spencer is retiring. The Xbox president Sarah Bond is leaving, and Microsoft's Core AI head is now the new CEO of Microsoft Gaming. So this is a pretty big shakeup. Probably one of the largest shakeups we've seen in Xbox in a while. Whenever it comes down to their in-house faces of the company, the president of Microsoft's Core AI production, Asasha, she will now be working in Phil Spencer's former position as the new Microsoft Gaming CEO. Matt Booty has now been promoted to Chief Content Officer and will work closely with Asasha within Microsoft. And there has been
I think her name's Asha. Isn't it just Asha?
Maybe it's Asha. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
Asha.
apologize. But there's been a lot of talks about Asha as what she has previously done. So Toaster, there's a lot of concern. Like the former co-creator of the Xbox has come out and he's saying now that he believes that Xbox will be sunsetted officially. There's also rumors coming out now that Sarah Bond, some people inside of Microsoft are glad to see Sarah Bond gone. Now, this is not stirring the pot. This is just some of the rumor mills that we're seeing on social media now. So it's a really big shakeup, Toaster. I mean, what do you think? What does this mean for the future of Xbox?
People can speculate on the internet what actually happened. I mean, Bond posted on LinkedIn giant farewell letter, basically, and stated that she was going to stay on with Sharma to be an advisor to do a smooth transition.
Yeah.
But, you do have the rumors where people were like, oh, this whole if anything's an Xbox. People didn't like that. But honestly, dude, in my mind, Xbox lost the plot with the launch of the original Xbox One. I mean, that whole E3 presentation where they basically focused on it being a freaking cable box.
Yeah.
And all Sony had to do was like, it plays video games and is $100 less.
Yeah.
And then everybody was on the PS4 kick. I miss the Xbox 360 ecosystem. I miss that entire, that was like a games focused console.
Yeah.
And this is going to be interesting because not only Phil Spencer's been driving that boat for Jesus, how many years?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Tim Schafer's face popped up on the screen. I'm so sorry, bro. Oh my God. Tim Schafer's face popped up on the screen as I was sharing the Xbox recent showcase, and he was like had this really angry look on his face. I apologize, bro.
So Phil Spencer was the head of Xbox for 12 years. And I don't know, I feel like them giving up the Master Chief, and this whole I think we've lost Caleb for the rest of the show. He's fucking dying over here. Talking about something serious. This this cataclysmic earthquake at Xbox's leadership.
Jesus,
and Tim Schafer's
so
like,
sorry.
hey, everybody. I'm Tim Schafer.
Oh, my God. But please continue, Toaster.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is... I don't know. First of all, she had to immediately take to social media to be like, we're not going to push AI. We're not going to push AI. That's kind of a warning sign to me. And now on the flip side, she's being forced to freaking back up her gamer creds on the internet, right? Because that's the internet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll say this. I'll say this just to point in at this point. So I can understand that this is not a easy transition for the company. But obviously this was also connected to Microsoft's statements that they have not been making the most revenue on the gaming side of the company. When they talked about this in their financial year call, they had talked about how they're not saying that the Xbox brand is not being become successful. They're just saying we haven't really seen the kickback that we've been investing in on it. So,
that's
I think
because
that
they do
has
these stupid things like spend billions of dollars on a studio,
yeah.
and then either shut it down, or just keep coming out with the same regurgitated slop. Like,
Yeah. And two, Toaster, to add to your point on that, like like Toaster said, when you're shutting down studios and you lay off a total of like 30 something thousand employees and then reinvest like 81 million into artificial intelligence, that was already a red flag right there. But then now that the face that runs the place, Phil Spencer, announces his retirement, and Sarah Bond say that she's stepping away from her position and role, and then the head of AI Core or Core AI through Microsoft is now taking over as the gaming CEO. Like, not only does it raise a red flag to me of what they have planned, but I look at it in a different sense. Instead of looking at it in the sense of, oh, well, they're going to kill Xbox, they're just going to shut it down. No, they're not. But what I do worry is, does this mean that we're going to see a heavy implementation of artificial intelligence into the development process of these games? Are we going to see them cut? Or did they cut back the workforce to make way for AI development in their games? To, if it's just the simplest task of like speeding up the process of getting these higher quality games out in a quicker manner, that's one thing. But is it, you know what I'm saying, Toaster? Like, that's my big red flag. Like,
well, so the whole AI thing is, it sucks, dude. And it sucks because it's useful. Even people that are like, I hate this AI, but like, and even, it's the worst double-edged sword ever, because it's the requirements for it are ridiculous, but more and more people are starting to rely on it, and it's getting better and better at doing complex tasks. And at the same time, like, we talked about this on Capcom and Arthur's show when they invited me on. I think it can be a useful tool if it's just a tool.
Yep.
If it's not used to, I don't know. And it's a real fine line, because, it needs to be used to augment the things that people can already do, not replace the things that people can already do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if it allows a studio like the guys behind Expedition 33 to create a game like that, then that's awesome, because it's allowed a small team of people to create something beautiful.
Yeah.
And so what if it helped them create a couple of extra frames of animation, and that means they got to go home and have a life or whatever, or like something close to a work-life balance? Because anybody you speak to in the gaming industry, they're like, well, the crunch is on, so blah, 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 blah. It's like, no human being should be expected to work like that.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
But like I said earlier, she immediately had to push the fact that, no, we're not, AI isn't going to play a huge part. We're going to be focusing on games and stuff like that. Like, that's a little worrisome.
It is, yeah. Especially when we saw Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer both talk over the last few years, talk about the future of Xbox. Sarah Bond talked about the possibility of this next Xbox console being the most powerful console of all time. And then, we slowly but surely saw Xbox starting to shift and making games and making good game announcements, but then also at the same time, simultaneously, almost openly admitting that they're done with the console wars, that they're not worried about, that they weren't worried about exclusives. One of the biggest things is seeing, even though it's in the form and fashion that it is already, it's like Gears, Indiana Jones, Then we have Forza. Then we have Flight Simulator. Then we have Halo. Then we have Fable. And at first, like when some of the games were coming to PlayStation, it excited me, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool!" Xbox exclusives on PlayStation. But then I started thinking, I don't think Sony is going to do the same thing. I don't think they're going to reciprocate it. We're not going to see Spider-Man games on Xbox. And as that got more prevalent, we're seeing more and more things being announced moving over, and now it's this other situation, that this new CEO is already saying that she hears us, and she, they understand what we feel about exclusives, and I'm like, so it puts me in a really confused mindset and kind of frame of like, what is happening? Like, what is happening with Xbox? Did they really lose touch with what the Xbox brand was this bad? You know what I'm saying, Toaster?
Well, I think they kind of started to shift. I think what we saw was them pushing to where they wanted to be faster than the community was comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, you remember the whole online all the time controversy when they first announced that, and the idiot made that comment about people in like rural areas don't count because they don't have real internet, or however he fucking said it.
Yeah.
And everybody got super, super upset about the way he said that. And then they backed off for a little bit. Now where are we?
Yeah.
We all have consoles that are online all the damn time in our house, unless you have them like purposely powered off. So I think the push for they're trying to almost kind of push into like Steam competitor territory.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, Microsoft can print money, for Christ's sakes. Like all of their divisions alone with like their AI, the Azure stuff, like we've talked about this, they can, they can play Monopoly, for Christ's sakes. So like them not making a console anymore and just doing games as a streaming service or as a storefront, especially now that high-speed internet is starting to be more and more prevalent regardless of where you are.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're not having, on the consumer end, you're not having to pay for a high-end desktop to play a game. All you got to do is spend the money on a decent TV and an internet connection, and boom, you can stream it.
Yeah. I mean, that's even like with the Steam Box, Steam Box coming out. I mean, you get the capabilities of a gaming PC without having to lug around a giant gaming PC.
I just think there are too many people that were still hung up on like, well, Master Chief is Xbox and Kratos is PlayStation.
Yeah.
And it's like, the problem is none of the studios are making anything that people are excited to get a console for anymore.
Yep.
And like we've talked about, these studios have, or these big publishing companies and development houses, they all have these massive misconceptions because of games like Grand Theft Auto that's, sell ridiculously outnumbered for copies of just wow. I don't know what that point was right there, but but we had, we talked about with the Dead Space thing, we're not going to get a 2 or a 3 remake because they didn't think it did really well, even though it
which is crazy
their profit.
I mean,
or like doubled their investment, or I think increased it by like 100%.
It's nuts. It's like it's
still made money though.
Yeah, it's like somebody saying that grocery prices aren't high right now. Like you just can't help but laugh, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the craziest thing. I remember when we talked about that on that episode. I was like, bro, listen.
Well, yeah,
it makes no sense
because we did math.
Yes. Like it's nuts to me, but this is nuts to me. This whole situation is just bonkers to me, dude. Like it really doesn't make any sense how they went wrong. I mean, the Xbox brand owns so many IPs, but I feel like you're right in that sense too, that they bit off so much. They ate up so many different development studios. out there
And
of just
they
trying to
started-
gather IPs.
They started making the box do shit it didn't need to do.
Yeah.
You know, don't make it a cable box.
Yeah.
Like, why? You know, and I mean, they tried to reverse course on that, but I think the damage was done when they really, you know.
Well, I was really excited about the Xbox, about the like discless. You remember the first time there was rumors about a discless Xbox, like, but right before the Xbox One, and like I was excited. I was like, bro, they are really moving into the future.
But that dude that was just on the video right there,
yeah,
it's like Macaulay Culkin if he had a massive beard.
You're ridiculous. But yeah, so like I remember that. I was super, super excited for that. And of course, there was I feel like it was like a forced leak to see how they would react to it. And everybody was like, what the fuck?
Oh, dude, the worst was the PlayStation 5 launch because I was like, oh, you know, I'll get a digital discless edition because those were more available than the
regulars.
And then I'm like flying back from somewhere, and you know, I have time to sip my gin and tonic and think on the plane. And I went, oh crap, I own a lot of physical PlayStation discs.
Yeah.
Are those licensed? And I look it up on my, you know, I'm on the plane Wi-Fi. I'm looking it up on my phone. Like, is it? And it's like, no. And I was like, son of a bitch.
It's a lot to think about because, you know, we used to complain about this, Toaster. Like we used to, I remember we used to talk about how gaming was switching to the digital side of things and how we were such big collectors of physical copies of games. And I conformed on it pretty quickly. I eventually started realizing how much space it was taking up having all those games and how I could literally at that time through PlayStation, you know, they had that whole thing that if you bought the physical copy, you got the digital copy for free.
Yeah.
So like I was like, fuck yeah, I'm just gonna save all the stuff.
Well, no, so like there are certain games that I will buy the collectors, and this is completely off topic. We have lost the plot. But
we did just like Xbox.
There are certain games that I will still splurge on the collector's edition for.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls 6, Mass Effect 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's it?
Yeah.
I haven't bought a collector's edition in quite some time, bro. I'm not gonna lie. If it's something good enough, like if they come out with another Metal Gear Solid game or something like that, and it's got a collector's edition, then I might get it. I was gonna get the Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater collector's edition, but it's sold out. So boo-hoo for me. But no, the main thing is it's just, you know, it's something kind of hard to swallow to think that these really big name people at Xbox are actually gone. And Xbox is really about to pivotally shift in a way that we haven't seen them do in some time. So with go ahead.
It'll be interesting.
It will be interesting.
You know, I am going to miss Phil's shirts though.
Bro, that's like one of the coolest things.
I hope Asha does the shirts.
I think it's going to happen.
And I hope it's the most obscure games in the world to just make people angry. Because regardless of what, I mean, honestly, dude, regardless of what she does, like, nobody's going to be happy.
No, nobody's going to be happy.
I mean, it's going to be awful for her.
Yeah. Nobody's going to be happy with it. And it's going to be a really hard transition for her in it. There's going to be people internally, I'm sure, that are thinking the same thing because Phil Spencer has been like a figurehead at that studio for quite some time. But Aaron Greenberg is still there. Matt Booty is still there. I guess they're really going to try and push Xbox into something even better. I don't know. I'm going to hold out hope that this isn't the future of Xbox already over. And I'm going to hold out hope that the future of Xbox is still going to be just as great. But with that said, now we're talking about PlayStation. Okay.
That's what that previous segment. Good luck.
Good luck for sure. But really big news right now. Insomniac has now officially given Wolverine its release date. and it is coming September 15th of 2026. Now, Toaster, I am super excited for this game. You might be excited for this game. I don't know for sure, but
I am, but it's not coming out September 26th or what was that date?
September 15th.
It's not coming out September 15th.
Why do you think that?
Because that's the first release date they've announced.
Let's just hope. Okay.
Come on, dude.
No, I'm going September 15th. Because you got to think they've already delayed it. They didn't give it a actual release date, but they gave it a release window and it got pushed back.
So you think they're pulling my when it's done?
Nope. I think I think it's coming out September 15th. Okay. No question. You're not gonna cut me down on this, Toaster. Okay, the only thing I'm gonna be cutting down on this is Sabretooth. All right. Okay. That's it.
All right. That was a very nice segue.
Real quick, is there any
whatever happened to the other Captain America game that was
it got canceled, bro?
What?
Yes.
Why?
Dude, you talking about Avengers 19
of a game
you talking about Avengers 1943?
Yeah.
Yeah, it got canceled.
Who is the dummy that did that?
Hang on. I'm gonna have to look this up real quick. And I don't mind breaking off on this because I was really excited about this game too.
Oh man, that's like 2 level 13s in my lifetime.
Wait a second. Canceled?
This game totally looks like it's rated E for.
So this was the last thing that was popping up for this. So this was through PC Gamer. Hold up. I swear. I know EA canceled the Black Panther game that was in development. Hold up. This video's about to start over. I'm moving it back. I'm getting... okay, so it says here through PCGamer.com, important message of around 1943. Come on. Okay, so this is from Skydance. At Skydance Games, our goal is to deliver unforgettable premium games that honor the characters and world that they feature. Marvel 1943, Rise of Hydra is to fully realize our vision. They're being pushed to early 2026. I swear, I think this game's canceled, dude. I'm almost certain. Or it's been pushed off or indefinitely put on hold. You're going to have to look it up for yourself. Okay. Drawing a blank over here. I don't know what's happening. Look at Wolverine's hands. They're beautiful. Where is this? Skydance. Skydance Games. Yeah, bro. Like they don't even have it listed. Right.
So
on
here. Supposedly it's been pushed to beyond early 2026, whatever that means.
Yeah. See, that's the only thing I could find too. But there's no information right now. Is it Amy Hennig heading that project? Amy Hennig.
I mean, that game, yeah, please don't level 13 me again.
Yeah. It's being directed. The game director is Amy Hennig. Yeah, see, 3 months. Yeah, that's it. That's the only thing I can find. Even on Reddit, it says Marvel Rise of Hydra delayed indefinitely beyond the original early 2026 date. So right now it's in limbo, bro. It's in limbo. God, that sucks. But real quick, while we're on the topic of Marvel and we were talking about the Wolverine game, is there any like specific Marvel characters that you would like to see Wolverine face off in this game outside of Hulk?
The Hand.
The Hand.
What's her name? Lady Deathstrike. Deadpool.
Oh,
Please,
yeah. You're talking about The Hand, the ninja cult.
please.
That would be
Please tell me Deadpool makes an appearance in this fucking game.
That would be pretty cool. And then have Nathan Fillion voicing him. That would be good.
And doing an impersonation of Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. That would be awesome. I'd probably say Deadpool. I would really like to see Deadpool as the anti-hero pop up in the game. And then maybe as like his, I know they've done it a million times, okay, but I really would like to see, I don't know where this game is going to start. Like how far along is it going to be in his life? Are we going to start fresh? Like is this going to be like right after the
that looks like he's in Canada.
That's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if this is going to be like an Origins and then they're going to turn it into like a series. I don't know. I'm fucking excited about it though, bro. Like just this gameplay is getting me hyped up.
See,
man.
I need this
really
to do
cool.
really well. So that way Skydance is like, oh, okay. So this does work. Let's,
Oh man, and that Skydance game looked great too, man. Like the visuals of his face when he's talking about when he's telling Captain America, he was like, you don't control me. It's amazing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited about that. I think it's going to be a really good game, and I'm super glad to kind of solidify some type of release window. This is going to be more or less a quick hit, but we talked about the release of WWE 26 or WWE 2K26 on one of the previous episodes. But really big thing here, as I said, this is going to be the largest roster ever for any WWE game, and they officially released the entire roster. There's up to 400.
And they're all differently variant Joe Hendrys.
That's it. They're all Joe Hendrys. But there's a full list now on WWE.2K.com/rosters. You can check out the full roster for yourself. And I am super excited about this. There's different versions of CM Punk that are in the game. There's a really big heavy focus on like the Raw is War era. We're going to see more characters than we have ever seen before in any WWE game. And it seems like it's going to be something that's going to really, really kind of pat fans on the back and be like, we got you this time. It's a great experience from start to finish, which I really loved 2K25, which shout out to 2K for giving us the opportunity of reviewing it last year. But it was a really cool game. I loved the My Rise and the island. The social activity on the island needs to be a little bit better if they're planning on bringing that back in 2026. There needs to be, I will always cut back to PlayStation Home whenever it comes down to true social interaction. Is in like the third person character style. When they do those social hubs, I don't think I've ever seen one that was as active as something like PlayStation Home. And that was just kind of a way of testing the network.
I really wish I could make my Xbox avatar walk around, especially
Right?
the ridiculous unicorn horse he's on.
That would be awesome to have like an Xbox hub that you can go in there, meet up with friends, party. I really like that type of thing that they did on like the PS4 and the PS3 and Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. Is like having those community hubs was just man, dude, I'm telling you, I was so involved in PlayStation Home, dude. It was so cool. It was like you had all these different apartments that were all themed. I had like a BioShock apartment, and then when new games were coming out, they would launch new areas that you and your friends could go like explore or play these little in PlayStation Home games, and it was cool, man. It really was. It was kind of a different era of gaming, but moving into a different era for the Assassin's Creed franchise, it has officially been announced that there are a total of 3 new leaders on the side of the Assassin's Creed franchise. Toaster, would you like to talk about this?
Sure. So the Assassin's Creed team is getting a new leadership team. Voila! Martin Schelling has been appointed as Assassin's Creed new head of brand. Schelling will lead the franchise team, the overall strategy and long-term vision of and oversee the long-term strategy and vision. I read good. I don't need a teleprompter. I remember things.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Francois Debilly has been appointed as head of production excellence for Assassin's Creed franchise, and man, do they need some production excellence. And Jean Guisson, I'm butchering that dude's name, and I apologize.
No, you're doing a good job. I'm proud of you. You're way better than me. That's why I was like, Toaster needs to read this.
He's the new head of content. Guesdon is primarily known for his work as the creative director on Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which, I mean, yes, it's an enjoyable game. My only complaint is the way that he becomes an assassin. Like, there was all like a ceremony and a mystique about it, and then this dude just finds a dead body on a beach. Like, way to destroy the mystique.
Thanks
of the whole thing, guys. I appreciate it. But he also got his start on Assassin's Creed too.
Yeah, that's a big one right there.
Yeah.
I mean, well, you know, Black Flag was a really big breaking point for a lot of Assassin's Creed fans. For me personally, I was not a big Black Flag fan, and I think it was because I was in this weird thing.
you know which one it was for me?
What?
3.
3? Yeah,
when you were running around in the woods of Revolutionary War New England, like, look at me parkour off of this tree, squirrel. Didn't it look cool?
Yeah. I think that 3 was a pivotal game too, bro. And my thing about 3 is it had the same type of like exciting feel that Assassin's Creed 2 had. Because 1 was great, but 2 really kind of was like the cherry on top of the beautiful sundae. You know, it was just,
and I mean, I might be being like basic here, but I think my issue too with it is like they need to go back to what made Assassin's Creed.
I think that's the goal, maybe.
Yeah, and you know, and they try to do it with Mirage, but it feels weird playing Mirage knowing that Basim's an asshole.
Did you beat Mirage from start to finish?
No, but I played. I'm whining. I played.
I'm kidding.
Are you making the bra face at me right now? Maybe I need to, like, I don't know. I have like gamer ADHD so hard right now. It's not even funny. But you know, that focus is about to get laser narrowed because the World of Warcraft expansion launches in a week and a half.
I'll never talk to Toaster again, bro.
I mean, no, we're playing while we're doing the podcast. Like, right? What are you doing? I'm running a Mythic. All right, but we can talk about stuff.
Hey, we can always just the whole time we're playing, we can put your live stream on the podcast.
No pressure at all.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Like, I mean, Odyssey was great, but Odyssey was massive. Like, for the first time in my life, I was like, I am sorry I ever asked for larger maps. Holy shit. And then Valhalla got weird. Like, real weird.
See, I'm in a strange place with Valhalla because I reviewed Valhalla off of the basis, like the most base version of the game, you know, and over time it grew so much into this tree of we are everything in one game. You know, you could do anything. It was a massive. God,
you like do textiles with one village and trade and no, just tell me what historical figure I need to go murder and not get caught doing.
That's the reason why I fuck with Mirage so hard, dude. Like, I'm telling you, I really, really mean this. Yes, it had a smaller map than the previous Assassin's Creed. It was an open world and all this, and they tried to make a new Assassin's Creed game very much like an older Assassin's Creed game, and I'm telling you, they succeeded. Mirage is such it's such an ultra focused Assassin's Creed experience. Like, if you have played the last 3 Assassin's Creed games before Mirage and you were like, I really like it because it's Assassin's Creed, but fuck, there's so much to do. And man, there's so much that takes you out of the realm of Assassin's Creed or out of the feel of what was great about the series back in the day. This is the game for you. I'm telling you. And that I was not paid to say that by Ubisoft. That's coming from a true fan of Assassin's Creed.
Well, I mean, I love Shadows.
No,
Shadows
I know you do. Yeah. Shadows is great. I love Shadows, but this is really grounded. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I give. I mean, it's just like Shadows is such a good game because it was so unique and different. It was. I loved the fact that they decided to challenge themselves the way they did, of saying, okay, not only are we going to have one protagonist in Japan, okay, and having the competition of games like Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotai, but then saying we're also going to add in this character that was real, but some of the information that we've seen over the years, we don't know if it's true or if it's just tales of his greatness or whatever. And there was a lot of challenge. There was some hit back from the community here and there about different things with the game, but it was still a really great experience. But like when it comes down to just really a gaming experience that is ultra focused on the storytelling of Assassin's Creed Mirage is where it's at, dude. Like, I really think my boy Toaster needs to give this game some time in his life and just play it, because it's so classic. At times it's almost strange because it feels like something that is possibly like a remake from when like Black Flag era and stuff. But
not that there, there's no such, not that there's a Black Flag remake coming or nothing.
Yeah,
like
that's
the worst kept secret in freaking gaming right now.
It's definitely not happening. But lastly, to move on from this, is there anything else that you want to say about these changes at Ubisoft?
No, I'm interested to see where it goes. And I'm all, the other thing is how do you come up with another grounded Assassin's Creed series? Everybody, we all liked Miles, and and like, how do you and I think that's the thing. They just keep introducing like other elder people, and you're just like, well, how many? Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe, we'll see what they come up with.
Well, the one thing we're not going to see anyone come up with is a reason why PlayStation officially has controversially closed Blue Point Games. And in a leaked memo, Jason Schreier reported on this news.
That dude kind of looks like an actor. Never mind.
Jason Schreier reported on this news that that PlayStation is shutting down Blue Point Games, or did as of February 19th. Sony acquired Blue Point Games only in 2021, a year after the widely acclaimed release of Demon's Souls. So this is the thing. So in this leaked memo, head of PlayStation, the head of PlayStation talked about the rising cost of development, while in the same breath stated how great the studio was and how proud he is of the progress that they've made. But I'm just shocked by this, Toaster. Like, the studio was just bought 5 years ago, and Blue Point Games does really great work on remastering titles. So like, I don't understand this. I don't understand this move. I realize now that I didn't put a link on here.
Well, I mean, so their live service game got canceled. And
Yes.
up until that point, like that was what they were working on. And after that, they didn't have it. I mean, I'm not condoning this by any means, but
Mhm.
apparently the reasoning was, I mean, they hadn't really announced anything other than that live service game, and the Demon Souls remake, got them noticed and bought by Sony. But at the same time, it's like the same thing. Like you buy and then you're going to close the studio.
Yeah, like
Like
it's the same thing we were talking about with Xbox. It's starting to be really
people behind Hi-Fi Rush.
Yes. It's starting to really be apparent that our PlayStation and Xbox literally just the same companies, that they've just been in these buying wars the last few years of like, oh well, we better buy this studio or the other studio is going to buy this studio.
It would be hilarious if Microsoft came in and picked all these people up.
I mean, it's just wild to me. It really is. But Blue Point Games has done so many games, dude. Like they've been developing games since the early 2000s, like Blast Factory, God of War Collection, the Ico and Shadow of the Colossus Collection, Metal Gear Solid HD, PlayStation All Stars, Flower, Titan, Gravity Rush Remastered, Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection, Shadow of the Colossus. I mean, and then of course the Shadow of the Colossus, like the Shadow of the Colossus remake was fucking unbelievable, dude. Like it was really, really great. And then the Demon Souls remake was really, really great. But the question is like what Toaster's saying. What is the fucking point of buying these studios if you're just going to buy them and fucking close them? I don't understand that. Like Xbox and Microsoft, please explain to me
It's
the purchasing of studios just to close them.
It's return on profit. You spend money on a studio and then you expect somehow to get that money back. The problem is, and it goes back to what I said earlier, the expectations are completely out of whack because of certain titles. Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto. Those are the two biggest ones that come to mind. The Call of Duty, like they expect these like millions and millions of dollars to pour in from revenue. And it's like, but you're not doing anything to create a game that does that, nor are you giving studios the time to simmer and come up with something that could be, so it's like it's a catch-22. Like you're blowing all this money so Microsoft doesn't grab a studio, or Microsoft's blowing so PlayStation doesn't buy it, and then you don't let them come up with something, and if they are in the middle of something when you buy them, you cancel it. Like
it's pretty bad, bro. Like I'm being honest. Like I'm not happy with either one of these gaming companies right now. I'm not happy with Microsoft. Not happy with PlayStation. But
at the same
to see some,
it's an issue with how expensive it is to make games. Like there has to be.
I get that, bro. I get that.
I'm talking about it because the problem is it becomes an issue in the bidding wars between these studios, or how much like there needs to be a complete just like, hey, wait a minute, like let's maybe not spend so much money on the front end, and I'm sure there's an offer that they could make to studios that's still fucking reasonable, without being completely insane. Or fucking, if you're going to invest, give them the time to come up with something.
I mean, they've owned the studio as long as the PlayStation 5 has been around. Okay. So my thing is, like what you just said, give them fucking time to make a game. They've only been purchased, or they were only purchased by PlayStation 5 years ago. And the first game they brought out was a Demon Souls remake for PlayStation 5.
Actually, they acquired Blue Point after the Demon Souls remake. They bought them in 2021.
So what game have they made? That's hold up. That means
No, they were working on a live service game, but
I thought
Sony
they were doing more
that.
than just that. I may be wrong. But let me see. And I hate that their site is still up, bro. That's sad. Yeah, Demon Souls was the last game they came out with in 2020 on PS5.
Or fucking if they're not giving you something, Sony has enough in their IP catalog to be like, here, do something with this title.
Yeah, dude. Like they could have given them anything. They're Blue Point Games. They're masters at remaking titles. Like why not give them Jack and Daxter? Why not give them Sly Cooper? Why not give them the Infamous 1 and 2? Those are huge games. I mean, shit. Forgive me for saying, but there's games even like Resistance Fall of Man that fans in the PlayStation fandom have been asking for 10, 15 years. Killzone. There's tons and tons of IPs that Sony owns. I agree with Toaster so well on this point. Like, why would you have not just let them make something?
Could you see them remaking the Spider-Man games?
God.
I mean, I don't know how that would work because Activision.
No.
But
I would say
Spider-Man is Sony's IP.
Yeah. They
could be like, here, remake these titles.
I mean, or they could have just let them remake any in-house PlayStation games, dude. Like there's so many PlayStation IPs out there that are not being utilized, that are just sitting there. I don't know, man. It would be really crazy if what Toaster said was, something that did come to fruition. And it's, Xbox buys Blue Point Games. That would be crazy. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of the Second Opinion Podcast. Please make sure to check us out at Cinelinks.com for some of the latest and greatest geek news, movie news, and gaming news. Great content and great content creators right over at Cinelinks. Big shout out to Toaster for always pushing me, supporting me, and showing us the gray mane as it grows. That was his
note. How many times did you practice that disclaimer?
Now, wait a second. Did you see those rosy cheeks right there when he went like this? Kind of had that Santa Claus look.
I'm going to reach through the interweb and digitally slap you.
I love you so much, bro. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. And please make sure to check back soon for another episode and more second opinions.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Peace out.
More beard.